What up, though? What up, though? Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Pick Your Side podcast. And look, man, I hope you had a great week. I hope you enjoyed these snow days. I hope you were able to get some extra rest. And I just pray that anybody that was impacted by the storm and who power is out, that it come back on as quick as possible and that you get power back in your house. But man, as we was going through just this week, I was just sitting back reflecting what was working for me when I was having the most success in my life, and what things were I doing, and did I have any systems or any going that helped me get to the next level of my life. And I want you to sit here and think, why do we always say we want something, but we never want to hold ourselves accountable? Really think about that. We say we want to lose this weight, but we're not holding ourselves accountable, and we're not doing the things that we need to do to get to where we want to go. And that's basically what this episode is about. So we're going to talk about the different stages of accountability. You have three different stages, in my opinion. And the first one is holding yourself accountable. The second one is being able to be held accountable or coached. And the third one is, holding somebody else accountable. You can't do the third one until you master the first one. Being self-accountable, because who do you look like holding somebody accountable when you can't hold yourself accountable? So through this episode, we're going to just touch on them three different things. I'm going to give you a personal story of a time that I wasn't accountable, and then what that caused and what that led to in my life. And then the second one is I'm going to give you an example of when I was receptive to accountability and being coached, and how that blessed my life. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I just want to stop here and just thank each and every person that watched the first two episodes, who left a comment, who liked, who shared it. Just thank you. Man, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, and it's just going to keep getting better and better. So stay tuned and stay locked in, and come on, let's keep on growing with each other. The first one that I want to touch on is self-accountability. And that's something that I'm going to be transparent and just be honest with you right now. I'm not doing the best in that area of my life right now. As we speak currently, I was just looking in my notes app. I have this one section, and I have the different tasks that I want to hit and the different goals that I set out for myself this year. And that's daily reading my Bible, working out, making sure I'm spending quality time with my family, making sure I'm praying. And as I look on that list, I'm only hitting 50% of that on a daily basis. Some days I may hit all of them. Some days I may not hit but one or two of them. So being self-accountable, man, is when you not making excuses for yourself and you doing the work even when nobody else is looking. So if you say that your goal is to lose weight this year and you ain't got no camera on you 24/7, are you eating the right meals, or are you sneaking eating those snacks at night that you don't supposed to be eating? Are you holding yourself accountable if you said that you want to get up early so that you can hit the gym and work out? Or are you hitting that snooze button and then you waking up 2-3 hours past the time that you said you was going to wake up? So now your excuse is, I didn't have enough time to work out. Or are you putting that $40 to $30, well, $40 to $50 up each check you told yourself that you would, so that you can start investing? So before you can go to the next stage of being coached, you got to be willing to hold yourself accountable. You got to be willing to check yourself and make sure that you're doing everything. Like, this ain't the time to beat yourself up. We human. We trying to get to that next level. So we're not going to be perfect, and we don't expect y'all to be perfect. But if we want to get there, we got to make sure we taking small baby steps. So you shouldn't be going 0 out of 5 or 1 out of 5. You got to get it up. 2 out of 5. All right. And then 3 out of 5. And then 4 out of 5. And then once you get to 5 out of 5, just keep applying pressure so you can get there. Just on the self-accountability, what area of your life are you lying to yourself, or are you giving yourself extra excuses to be made? And then if you not able to hold yourself accountable and you need somebody, that's when you reach out to an accountability partner so they can hold you accountable. But let me tell you this. If you get an accountability partner and you're not used to being held accountable, it's going to feel like hate. It's going to feel like they judging you. It's going to feel like they being extra hard on you. But that is what's good about accountability partner, because they're going to push you outside your comfort zone. Without accountability, you tend to get complacent in life. You tend to sit still or just keep doing things that's comfortable to you. So that's bad eating decisions. You only doing that because it's comfortable and that's what you're used to. But when you got that accountability partner that's checking you, you gonna watch what you eating and all that. So get your accountability partner. And when you get your accountability partner, and when you find your coach or a mentor, you have to be honest to them. You have to tell them what areas of your life that you're weak in, where you need help at, and just past habits that you have so that they can look out for that, so they can make sure that you're not falling back into that. And what you also need to do is don't just pick any because they're your friend. Pick you somebody that's gonna keep it real with you, that's gonna be honest with you, that's gonna just man be on your head because you sat there almost in tears or just upset, ready to crash out, and just told them, man, I can't keep living like this. I gotta make sure I get to this bag. I gotta make sure I lose this weight, man. I gotta make sure that I'm more present for my kids and my wife. And you told them everything, and you were stressed out when you was telling them so. Get you somebody that's gonna check you. Hey, you remember you told me that you to do this. You're not doing that. I need you to tighten up, get back on track, so that you can, at the end of the year, you'll accomplish everything that you wrote down on that page, on your vision board. You'll hit every. So get your accountability partner and just be receptive of the feedback that they giving you. Then just remember, it's not personal. They just want to see you grow. And don't pick a friend that you can just lie to or that's a yes man. Accountability partner is not your yes man friends. If you got a homie that you can tell him anything and he gonna agree with you, that's a terrible accountability partner. I want you to pick that friend that challenge you and everybody else around them, that's living up to a certain standard, and he's not gonna let you live under that. And somebody that want to see you grow and not just want to be around and just celebrate with you. Somebody that's gonna get down, man, struggle with you, work hard with you, grind with you, so y'all both can get to where y'all want to get to. And so once you master them first two, you hold yourself accountable, and then you got somebody and you receptive to the things that they telling you, and they able to coach you and hold you accountable. Then you can become somebody's accountability partner, and you can hold somebody else accountable. Because now throughout that time, you're more consistent, you matured, and now you're able to tell them the weak spots that they have, and it's not gonna seem like, oh, you telling me one thing, but you're not even living that way, because now you living this way. Now you have authority, and you can tell them, and you can hold them accountable because your actions is matching up with what you're trying to tell them. So that's when you can become an accountability partner. And like I said, I was gonna share, and before that, and when you do become the accountability partner for everybody else, I just want you to remember this: accountability is not control. You're not trying to control their life. You're not trying to take over their life. You're not trying to either dictate their life and tell them what to do. You just hold them accountable for what they asked you to hold them accountable for. So if they came to you and said, hey, I need you to hold me accountable because I need to save $50 a check, don't step out of bounds and say, hey, I know you said you wanted to save $50, but you need to save 100 or you need to save 200. That's not your job. Your job is just to check in with them. Hey, did you put that 50 up that you said you was gonna do? I know you got paid this week. I'm just checking, yes or no. You ain't gonna whoop them or nothing. We all grown, so you're not gonna put your hands on them or nothing. But just hold them accountable and just remind them, like, this is what you told me that you wanted to do at the beginning of the year. So I'm just checking back in with you to make sure you still on track. And that's all you got to do. And just be honest with them, man. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to spare their feelings or nothing. They picked you to be their accountability partner. So if you want to be a good one and you really care about that person, just tell them what it is. Don't try to baby them. They don't need that. They need to be pushed. They need that tough love. And man, just stay within the lines of what y'all agreed on, and y'all will be good to go. So just a quick story. I didn't really learn accountability until I got kicked out of school. And I had got suspended for 168 days, which was a whole school year. And I missed one semester, so I failed all 4 classes, and I had to go to alternative school. And I finished that, and I got back to school, and they told me straight up, you're going to graduate with the next year class because you're so far behind. So they put me in this class where you can make up a credit. They say you can make up 1 credit, And this is the first time that I really consistently displayed accountability in my life. At this age in my life, I was 15, 16 years old. And I went up to the teacher and was like, hey, I need to make up all 4 credits because I'm not trying to walk the stage with my brother 11 months younger than me. I said, I need to do what I need to do to graduate. And she was like, well, people have a hard time getting that 1 credit for a semester. I said, look, let me come in here and let me put my headphones on. Let me just work and just get done what I need to get done so I can graduate on time. She said, whatever you want to do. I say, can I come in doing enrichment? So instead of just sitting in there, I can come in here. She's like, if it's cool with your teacher, you can. Bet. So throughout that time, I created a system that I was gonna walk in class. I was gonna put my headphones on. I was probably at that age listening to some old Gucci, Lil Wayne, Big Sean. Put my headphones on, and I was just locked in. And I would just do my work from the time I get in to the time I leave. I wasn't talking to nobody. Man, I was being very accountable for my actions because, again, I was the one that put myself in that situation. I don't want to end up getting suspended for the 168 days, so I had to do what I needed to do. I say all that to say I end up making up all 4 credits that one semester and end up getting back on track to graduate. And that's when I learned that accountability can pay off. Prior to that, I was on the football team, and man, I couldn't be coach. I couldn't. My coaches couldn't tell me nothing. The players on my team, man, who are you to tell me something, bro? We both on the team. We both trying to fight for a position. I ain't trying to listen to all that. And I was just avoiding working out. I wasn't doing conditioning. In the summertime, I was out smoking Black and Miles with my cousins, and we were just doing, man, just a bunch of hood rat stuff. And the other people on the team, they was out there doing what they were supposed to do. They was out there working out. They was out there grinding, doing whatever they needed to do so they can get a starting spot. So when practice came around, I'm thinking like, oh, man, I've been a starter. I was gonna get my spot back. It's a new season. I never not started. Man, I get out there and man, I was getting tossed around. I ain't gonna lie to you. Man, I remember hitting and dude grabbed me, just moving me any type of way. And I just had to realize like, dog, I've been playing around. I wasn't putting in the work and they was putting in the work. And that was the reason why they were starting over me. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't the coach's fault, even though I blamed the coach and all that. And I had to just realize you're not as good as you think you was, and you're not practicing, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So that's why you out here looking like this compared to everybody else. So I had a big ego back then, and I probably still do. And I didn't want to hear that from the coaches, so I ended up quitting, walking off the field. And I was like, man, I love football. I grew up playing football. That's all I wanted to do. I had dreams to go to the league and all that, but me not being accountable cost me that. That was just 2 examples of my childhood. But man, that was 2 examples of my childhood. But I remember when I started my job that I'm working at right now in Shurian. Man, I never did customer service on the phone. I never really just talked to nobody on the phone. And just, man, I was a nervous wreck. But I got through the training. I listened to my trainers and my peer advisors and everything. And I was doing decent on the phone. I was doing everything. I was hitting my bonuses every month. But I knew it was another level. And I had this supervisor came to me. He was like, look, bro, we sat down and he just told me everything that I needed to know. And I wrote it down. We came up with a system. We even came up with some certain words to use on a call that'll get the customers to engage better and just to help them understand me better, because there was some certain words that I was trying to use that, man, I don't even use on a regular basis. So I need you to be more like yourself and just show your personality to these customers and just win them over. So I'm like, cool. 6 months later, my OM came, and me and him talk all the time because he's from the city. He's from Detroit as well. And he was like, man, we got this new position coming. You got the position. I just need you to not go in the interview and mess it up. I was like, so I don't have to interview? No, you going to interview, but because your number's so good, I wrote your name down and you good. Man, they end up giving me, they end up taking what I was making. I ended up making $4 more an hour, plus I got my yearly bonus that year. So I went up $5, $6 that year. Just because I implemented, I was able to become coachable. I listened to what my coach told me, my supervisor told me, and I utilized the resources I had around me to help me get to the next level. So that's when I just knew, man, I need to just lock in and just be receptive to the information that my leaders trying to tell me and the people in my life trying to tell me, because at the end of the day, they only telling me this information to help me become the best version of myself. So as we end this podcast about accountability, I just want to just leave you with a couple of things. The first question I have for you is, what area in your life do you feel like you stuck at? If you had to put a number on it, 1 through 10, if your goal this year was to lose weight, 1 through 10 so far this year, where would you put your accountability rate at? Are you holding yourself accountable, or are you not holding yourself accountable? Do you have accountability partners or not? And then the second thing, I just want to just challenge you to just write down that area. Just write down and just ask yourself the question, why are you avoiding accountability in this area of your life? Do you really want this for yourself? Do you really want to grow and go to the next level and the next phase in your life? And then the third thing I just want to leave you with, and you know how I end the podcast, I need you to pick your side. Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to grow? Are you going to just keep sitting in your comfort zone, or are you going to be receptive to accountability? So I need you to pick your side. What you going to do? But have a great day, be blessed, and have a great week.